So what we have going on here is these first two problems from homework 1B with subtraction are trying to convert subtraction problems into addition problems. On this one we have 9 minus 4, which I would convert to 9 plus negative 4 by inserting a plus after the 9. So there's my 9 and my plus, and what needs to show up in here will be the negative 4. But this other one requires a little bit more, maybe an extra step of what we're doing. We have 9 plus the opposite of negative 4. So then when we're looking at that, this whole thing is still the opposite of negative 4, which becomes the number 4. This is not what we're going to put in our answer. What we're going to put in our answer is 6 plus 4. That would get me positive 5, 9 minus 4, go with the positive like the 9. 6 plus 4 gets me 10, positive like the 6. So that's how those are going. Those are really getting us ready to create the plus that we need so many of, those pluses when we're getting in here. So I'm going to grab a good blue pen and be ready to use a lot of that here. 11 minus 7. If I squeeze a plus behind the 11, you'll see that it now becomes 11 plus negative 7. And that means subtract, because they don't work together, we're going to have a 4. And it's strong like the 11, positive. We have here negative 3 minus 4, insert the plus, so we now have negative 3 plus negative 4. Those do work together. I have the 4 over the 3. We add them together to get 7. 7 is our magnitude. 4 is stronger than 3, so our 7 is negative as the 4 is. 14 minus negative 6. Okay, squeezing the plus sign. Now, what we have is 14 plus the opposite of negative 6. 14 plus that whole thing now becomes 6. No negatives in sight. When we take our 14 and our 6 and add them together, we get 20. And with no negatives in sight, it'll be positive 20, but also the 14 is positive, and much like, and because the 14 is our stronger one, we will be getting our sign from that once it's converted to addition. Here we have negative 2 minus negative 7. Negative 2 plus the opposite of negative 7. So negative 2 plus, and this opposite of negative 7 is going to become positive 7. This is going to get us now negative 2 plus 7. In that case, we have subtraction, and one's negative, one's positive. We go 7 and 2, do subtraction to get 5. Magnitude of our answer is 5. 7 stronger than the 2 is positive, so much like our 7, the 5 is now positive. 6 minus 13. Behind the 6 goes a plus sign. 6 plus negative 13. At this point, we can see that we have a 13 and 6 with opposite signs, so we get the difference of 7 for our magnitude, and the stronger 13 has a negative sign, so our 7 will be negative. Negative 9 minus negative 3. Because we see parentheses and something like that, doesn't mean we have any multiplication. It does mean that it makes it easier to make sure that the printing doesn't get the 2 dashes to touch each other and look like one long dash. But this is negative 9 plus the opposite of negative 3. This is therefore going to be negative 9 plus 3. They have opposite signs, so we're going to subtract 9 minus 3 to get the difference of 6. We see that 6 is our magnitude, but 9 is negative and stronger, so we're going to have to match the sign of the stronger term, now negative 9. Negative 6 for our answer. Negative 4 minus negative 4. We have negative 4 plus. We have the opposite of negative 4. It's going to be 4. So the black negative 4 plus the negative 4 that's underlined, the opposite of negative 4 that's underlined, the opposite of negative 4 becomes 4, and therefore we have a 4 and another 4, subtraction getting 0. 0 doesn't have a sign, so it will stay 0. It's neutral. 10 minus 4 minus 6 minus 2 becomes 10, plus negative 4 plus negative 6 plus negative 2. The last 3 terms are all negative, so they'll all add together. When we go with 4 and 6 to get 10, and then 2 more to get 12, this becomes 10 plus that whole thing becomes negative 12. Subtraction of 12 minus 10 will get me the 2 for our magnitude. And looking at what we have, the stronger of our 2 terms that we now have is the negative, so we have negative 2 for our answer. This one begins negative 9 minus negative 9 plus negative 7 plus, let me start again. Negative 9 minus negative 9 plus a negative 7 and then minus 17. That becomes negative 9 plus the opposite of negative 9 plus negative 7 plus negative 17. This creates a situation where we have negative 9 by itself plus the opposite of negative 9 is a 9. We have plus negative 7 and plus negative 17. Now the negative 9 plus 9 can make 0 and leave me just two negatives to add. That is a possible way to do this. Get them to add together, get 24, strong on the negative like 17. We'll get negative 24 that way. Another way to do it is switch the first two so that the 9 is here plus negative 9 plus negative 7 plus negative 17. Now the 9 would be there by itself, but the 9, 7, and 17 all work together. 9 and 7 makes 16, 17 more makes 33. So we'll have negative total of 33. We now have 33. Getting rid of 9 gets me 24. That becomes 20 and 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. One more there will get me 4 minus 0. For the 4, 20 minus 0 is 20. 24. 24 is our magnitude. With 33 being stronger, our answer will be negative, like the 24. The same happens if you made the choice, which you can here, to get those to cancel and get 7 and 17 makes 24, strong like the negative 17. 15 is subtracted from 7. That means we begin with the 7 and we subtract 15. Now if we do the work on that, 7 plus negative 15 means we've got to take 15 and 7 and do the subtraction to get 8. That's the magnitude of our answer. Looking at our two terms, 15 is stronger than negative, so our 8 will be negative like that 15. 9 less than 6. We begin with 6. So that's what we're going than the 6. We begin with our 6, make it less by 9. That's 6 minus 9, excuse me. 6 plus negative 9. Subtract 9 minus the 6 to get a magnitude of 3 for our answer. The stronger term is negative as the 9, so we will go with negative 3 for our final reduced answer. Here we have negative 9 less than negative 4. Starting with than 4, we begin, negative 9 less than 4. We begin with our 4, and from there we make it less by negative 9. That's going to be 4 plus the opposite of negative 9. That's going to be 4 plus 9. It's going to be 13. And that'll be positive. There are no negatives in sight, but also true because the 9 is positive and we take the sign from the stronger term. And that's how we handle our subtraction homework. Again, contact me online, through email, or with our weekly